In the last week alone, my Amazon business has done just shy of $90,000 in sales. And that's all because the holiday season is certainly here for us as Amazon sellers, and it's not too late to take advantage of it. So in this video, I'm gonna be giving a step-by-step guide on how you can fully take advantage of Q4, take advantage of these Christmas sales, even if you may be underprepared. But if you're brand new to the channel, my name's Warner Fields from Fields of Profit. I'm a full-time 7-figure Amazon seller. And right around this time last year, kind of November, December area, is when my life really completely changed. I went from doing about 20 to 30,000 bucks a month in sales through the Q4 season. That really just kind of changed my perspective on what was possible with online arbitrage on Amazon. And so I absolutely do not want you to feel underprepared for the holiday season. So we're gonna be jumping in. I'm gonna be showing you how to source items that are gonna be great. We're gonna be sourcing items that you can still buy right now and sell before Christmas, and talking about how you can fully take advantage of the sales boost during Christmas. But if you're brand new to the channel or want even more free resources to learn how to sell on Amazon, just give me a link directly beneath me for our completely free Amazon seller Discord community. So over 40,000 people in there showing a ton of free information. Would love to see you in there, but let's go ahead and jump into the video. So step one of the process of making some decent money on Amazon even before Christmas is obviously going to be going out and finding a product. And so usually on Amazon, the business model that I prefer is FBA. So fulfilled by Amazon, I ship it all into Amazon and they ship it to the customers for me. But right now it's kind of early December, so there's really no time for that. Usually we'd have to buy the items, we'd have to send it into Amazon's warehouse. It's going to take at least a week or two to check in, all that good stuff. And we just don't have that time anymore. Plus right now, and honestly the next 2 weeks are the absolute best couple weeks of the entire year to be an arbitrage seller. So if you're a small scale seller, it makes a ton of sense to almost be 100% fulfilled by merchant right now. So you're gonna be shipping everything to your house, listing it on Amazon, and then directly shipping it out to the customers from you. So in order to make that happen, you're gonna need a little bit of simple supplies. You're gonna need boxes, you're gonna need tape, you're gonna need a scale, and obviously you're gonna need some products. We'll talk about how to source those here in just a second. But something that honestly helped me out big time last year is just buying boxes from Uline. If you buy them from Uline, they're a little bit more expensive than usual. But when you're merchant fulfilling items, it's honestly really helpful to be able to go in there and buy the exact perfect size boxes for those items that you're buying. And you can usually get those boxes within a couple business days. So it really kind of bailed me out a couple times last Q4. And so from here, we've got kind of the harder part after we get the basic supplies. Now we're going to go ahead and talk about how you can actually source these products. So when we're looking for specific products to sell during Q4, especially for this strategy, we're kind of being as fast as humanly possible. We're shipping it to us, directly shipping to the customers. We need to make sure that there's actually sales going to the fulfilled by merchant sellers. If you're not familiar with it, sometimes the buy box on Amazon, which is where all the sales go through. Anytime you click add to cart, that's the buy box. The buy box usually favors those FBA sellers. So we need to make sure that the items that we want to sell is actually sharing the buy box with fulfilled by merchant sellers. It's natural, it's a little slower shipping, not as great customer service usually. And so just as an example to show you what to look for, I went ahead and pulled up this super popular Nike shoe listing. There's going to be a ton of arbitrage sellers all over this listing, but this is really important for one reason. As we're mousing over the Keepa chart right here, we can see the past history of this item. This tool is like 20 bucks a month, by the way. Very affordable, very necessary if you want to be an Amazon seller. But as we're mousing over this chart here, we can see how it kind of says 132 bucks by third-party FBM. And then it says FBA there, and then it goes back and forth from FBA to FBM. And so when I look at an item like this, where the buy box is consistently rotating to those FBM sellers and not just being hogged by FBA sellers. So as we're zooming into the past year, I see a lot of FBM. So there it gave it to FBA there for a little while, back to FBM. And so what this tells me is that during Q4, when there's a lot of people who are going to be wanting to sell this item and even more people who want to buy this item, there's going to be natural sales rotation to those FBM sellers. So this would be kind of the basic thing to look out for before you go ahead and buy those items that you're going to merchant fulfill. Make sure that the buy box is being shared with merchant fulfilled sellers. Another thing you can do to get a little bit fancier with you here is on Keepa, you can go to data and go to buy box statistics. And then on here, we can make sure that there are FBM sellers who are winning the buy box. So right here, we can see this guy won 23% of the buy box. Basically, he's getting 23% of the sales over the last 30 days. And the FBA box is not checked, meaning that they are an FBM seller. I'm just noticing they have an 8% rating. So but they're probably selling something fake or drop shipping or who knows what they're doing. But either way, the buy box is rotating to FBM sellers. This guy right here, 100% feedback, only a couple, but clearly the buy box is rotating to merchant fulfilled sellers. So just be on the lookout for that kind of stuff as you're looking for these products to source and then immediately ship to customers. And so from here, the way I would highly recommend to go out and source some of these next profitable products, I wouldn't imagine something like this would be profitable unless you can get it somewhere super cheap, you know, multiple layers of discount. But something that's really powerful about looking at Nike listings, looking at Lego listings, looking at great value, any any of the retail store brands, kind of private labels. So all of the people on this listing are going to be arbitrage sellers just like us. Nike's not selling Amazon. Amazon doesn't sell Nike on Amazon. And so all of these sellers are going to be people like you and I who are just flipping some products on Amazon. And so when we go ahead and click through some of these set stores here, we're going to be able to see exactly what they're selling. So I go ahead and pull up this seller, for example. It looks like they just have 36 Nike products. It seems like they have no feedback. Something weird's going on there. Let's go ahead and check out somebody like this. This guy's got 17 feedback. We can see the exact types of products he's selling. So far, again, it's just a bunch of Nike stuff. So if you want to hop in here and sell some Nike, this could be a good opportunity for you, especially as we head into Q4. This is going to be a great kind of giftable item. Nike, Adidas, Legos, like Barbies, anything that your little siblings would be happy about, kind of wrapped up under the Christmas tree. If they're going to want it for Christmas, it's going to be selling really fast during Christmas season. So as we're looking through some of these items here, we're going to be looking for items that we can buy for about this max cost option here. And another rule of thumb I keep in mind is buying it for about half of this price. Sometimes it's a little bit more than half, but that's kind of a nice general rule of thumb just based on how the Amazon fees work out, just to make sure you're making that 30 to 35% ROI. And so from here, I would go ahead and start clicking through some of these listings here. So for example, in a listing like this, we go ahead and click the Google button on SellerAmp. That's going to go ahead and open up this product on Google for us. So we can go ahead and just start clicking on any of these listings, especially listings where it seems like it might be the same product and it's on sale. So we've got these slides right here. We're looking to buy them for $19.50. So this one right here could be worth checking out. So it's 21 bucks. This we had to buy for 20 bucks. So that's really, really close already. We could also look at something like this, maybe exactly where we came from actually. We could go ahead and Google the title there, although it's probably going to pull that title. So we'd want to find the actual title of the shoe. A lot of these Nike listings especially kind of have some weird titles from time to time. Just for the sake of the video, I'll skip that one. We could check out something like this. It's a very simple little kid's shoe and we need to pay no more than 50 bucks for it. So we go ahead and open that up and see if there's anywhere. I also like to check the Google shopping tab sometimes, and that kind of just consolidates the results a lot of times. So we got it for 70 bucks on Nordstrom. So it looks like Nike might have it on sale. Finish Line might have it. So we can just open up a couple of those there, see if we've got any kind of sale going on. So these are toddlers. These are kids. So probably a little bit different there. These are toddlers as well. Are these toddler sizes or are these big kids? If you can figure out kid sizes on clothes and shoes and stuff, you'll be very, very rich, by the way. They do get very, very complicated. So these are toddlers, which are different from big kids. So we go ahead and keep on moving on there. And so as you can see, the process is really, really simple, but it takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of refinement to understand which of these items to look at and also which items to kind of narrow down further into. So for example, I know that this item, very, very rarely can you get this item for 35 bucks, but maybe it's on multiple layers of discount, something crazy. I just know to kind of skip past this one because I know I'm probably not gonna be able to buy this shoe for 35 bucks compared to, you know, maybe some of these other shoes down the line. I might go ahead and investigate because I have a reasonable suspicion. So something like this, maybe there's a hunch if there's the right coupon, that kind of stuff. I might go ahead and look into something like this and try to find those items that we can go ahead and merchant fulfill. So for example, if we're looking at a listing like this one, let's say we were able to find it profitably, we can see as we mouse along the chart here, we can see how it goes buy box FBM, then it says buy box FBA a little bit. So it's definitely kind of hopping around from FBM sellers to FBA sellers. And so this keeper graph right here would be the type of item we'd be very, very interested in if we were going to kind of buy the item, immediately get it to us, and then immediately ship it out to the customer on Amazon. And so another thing we could go ahead and do is using that same kind of idea we just had, looking at the Nike listing, looking at the other sellers on that listing to find good products. I actually don't love doing merchant fulfillment on shoes. It can be decent, but you'll end up with a lot of returns, which can get more expensive when you're doing merchant fulfillment, all that good stuff. So I much prefer doing beauty, maybe a little bit of apparel, that kind of stuff, but apparel that wouldn't get returned quite so much as shoes. So we would do the same thing. I honestly would highly recommend that you go ahead and diversify your products a little bit. And so you could go to a listing like this one, this Ulta Beauty box. We know that they're buying this item from Ulta Beauty, and it's reasonable that they're going to have other items in their storefront that we can go ahead and buy from Ulta and similar websites. And so I would go ahead and start clicking through some of these other sellers on this listing, doing the same exact thing, kind of looking at these keeper graphs over here, trying to understand, is this an item that I'm interested in selling? So based on looking at this item, there's 61 sellers on it, which is quite a bit. I also see, kind of zooming in a little bit here, that the orange price line here is already decreasing. So that tells me that the price of this item could be tanking a little bit. So I might skip out on something like that compared to an item like this. We've got a little bit less sellers, still a decent amount of sellers on this, but it's selling pretty decently well. And the orange FBA price over here is very, very consistent. And so if we're able to buy this item for less than $10.64, then we know that we should be able to consistently make some decent money. And the really nice thing about this kind of game plan here is that mascara is going to be way easier to ship than a big box of shoes. It'd just be kind of slipping it into, you know, maybe a bubble, mailing it off, and you're all good to go compared to putting it in a big box and paying a lot more for shipping, right? So this would be something I would go ahead and check out. I know Cyber Monday just ended, so it's not likely that we'll find too much that's amazing here on camera, just because everybody kind of already ran their amazing sales. But I'd expect there to be several more great sales coming up here as well. And so I would just go ahead and start looking through these listings here. So we got this Tarte listing, we got Sephora, we got Ulta. So I would go ahead and open these up, see if there's any kind of banner up at the top that says, hey, 50% off or 30% off or anything like that. We could also go ahead and combine it with some cashback from Rakuten, cashback from your credit card, maybe a discounted gift card, and do whatever you can to buy this item cheap enough to be able to be profitable, right? So it looks like a lot of this is kind of 24 bucks. I'm not seeing any kind of sale banners, anything like that. Same story here. Maybe we could get a little bit of a coupon if we use like something like Rakuten, kind of checking for that coupon at our checkout. In this case, I would do the exact same thing, just kind of ripping through here, especially for those of you guys who want to diversify your product catalog. I'm a big fan of going towards beauty, really just anything that's smaller, especially since we're going to be merchant fulfilling a lot of stuff from here on out. So maybe we could go ahead and check this one out. Similar story, I bet. So this is on sale, so we're getting it for $14, but we'd have to buy it for $2.30. So obviously there's been some kind of much better coupon that's been out there. So I would go ahead and keep on scrolling on here. Something like this, I would definitely skip past because Amazon's on the listing and is very consistently on the listing. As you can see, just kind of this orange consistent line here up at the top means that Amazon is almost always on the listing. Although it does look like the buy box is being held by FBA, kind of well below the Amazon price. So maybe Amazon isn't profitable at that price or whatever. Usually they don't really care about making a lot of money on the individual items, but that would be a little bit of a red flag. Maybe you could go ahead and look into something like this. Just kind of clicking down the line here, open it up on Google, check out the sales rank, check out the orange FBA price chart over here. Look for very consistent sales rank, consistent price on the FBA chart. Go ahead and click through here and just look for those items that you can buy for this max cost option. And so once you go ahead and source through those other storefronts out there, you're going to find several great products to go ahead and flip. Like we've been talking about, it's a little bit too late to do FBA. So the next step is going to be listing those items on Amazon via merchant fulfillment. So I use a software to help me list inventory. You can also do it through Amazon Seller Central, but the process of listing things via merchant fulfillment is honestly way easier than listing via FBA, because you basically go to Seller Central, you say add a product, you punch in that ASIN, it'll ask for some very basic information. How many do you have? What's the price? What condition is it in? And after that, you're gonna be able to submit that listing. It'll be live on Amazon. And so if you've never done a fulfilled by merchant order before, I know a lot of us just kind of jump straight in with fulfilled by Amazon. The way it works is the sales will come in, that'll show up on your Amazon Seller Central. It'll say, hey, you got one order shipped. You go in, buy your shipping through Amazon Seller Central. If you do so, your shipping is insured by Amazon. So if the package gets lost or the customer says, hey, I didn't get my package, all that kind of stuff is going to be covered by Amazon. So definitely make sure you buy your shipping through Amazon. And then if any customers do message you with issues about their item, usually FBA would take care of those issues. In our case, FBM, we are going to have to take care of some customer service messages, all well worth it to make plenty of extra money during this Christmas season. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and got a ton of value out of it. Hopefully you go out there and use it to make at least $1,000 before Christmas. And if you already have an existing Amazon business and already find a little bit of success, if you want my direct coaching to help your Amazon business, help show you exactly which sales to spend on through Black Friday, Cyber Monday, I've been calling out a ton of sales, and you can access all that inside the Lightspeed FBA community. Again, that's for established sellers. You can apply for that down below if you are interested. If you guys do have any questions, comments, anything like that, I'm always happy to answer those down below as well. But I really appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you next time.